It's like, yeah, welcome back to another episode of Survival Time. We finna get into 1/3 of the motherfucking West Side Connection. Okay, that 1/3 is Mac 10. Mac 10 is alright. He a alright nigga out the group. He ain't really all that to me. Ice Cube and Dub C really hard to me as far as the group go. Mac 10 got a couple joints though. But I really want to get into this because people be thinking certain shit about like Mac 10, but I really want to know the truth about Mac 10. Like Mac 10 said he wrote rhymes for Easy and stuff like that, which is true. And but Dub C was like he don't get as much respect in his neighborhood as he pretend to get. And he also had a situation with Ice Cube brother-in-law, which ended up fucking up the group. So I really want to see what's up and see what happens. So let's see what the fuck is going down.
Welcome back to another episode of Warren Cali. In this episode, I'ma detail the story of rapper Mac 10. Mac 10 was born Dedrick Rollinson on August 9th, 1971. Mac 10 would grow up in Inglewood, and during his childhood in the 80s, he would see a lot in his community. By the 80s, many cities and areas in LA County, like South Central, Watts, Compton, Long Beach, Carson, Inglewood, and several other cities will have several issues from gangs taking over their cities, like the Crips, Bloods, Pirus, and Serenos. Those gangs will leave devastating effects in their communities with the drug trade rising and them taking over their respected areas. Also the violence that came with the drug gang and several gangs going to war. This will make LA County one of the deadliest places in America. Mac 10 will grow up in an area in Inglewood called Queen Street, which is known for a gang called the Queen Street Bloods. The Queen Streets repped the west side of Inglewood and became an established gang by the 80s, among several other well-known Inglewood gangs, like the Inglewood Family Bloods, the Neighborhood Pirus, the Avenue Pirus, and the Crenshaw Mafia Bloods, among several others. The Queen Streets would be rivals of several Crips, and also in the past, they had beef with other Bloods. Growing up in the area of Queen Street, Mac 10 will automatically be a part of the community and become a member by just living in the area and knowing everybody who lived in his community, from friends and people he looked up to. Mac had dreams like most kids of playing sports and going to the NFL, but that wouldn't work out the way he wanted, and by middle school, he would pick up other interests. That would later become his career later in life, which was rapping. Mac was influenced by some of his homies in his neighborhood that was into hip-hop. That furthered his interest in rap, and some of his earliest influences were people like NWA. Over several years, Mac would start building a buzz and gaining some recognition for himself for his writing skills, and him also being in a local group called First Amendment. Mac would later be introduced to Eazy-E through a mutual friend. Mac would write a few records for Eazy, and Mac would start building several connections in the industry, later meeting people like DJ Bobcat and DJ Pooh.
People don't be wanting to give NWA their credit. They try to make it seem like NWA just started a bunch of shit and turmoil in like the music community, but you got to realize they opened a lot of lanes and doors for a lot of people. Even though hip hop got violent around that time, you got to realize they really like helped young men get off the street and make money and encourage a lot of people to just do different shit, because these niggas could have still been gangbanging or selling drugs or whatever the fuck they was doing prior to trying to rap. Like, you see, the sports shit ain't work out, so he had to come up with an alternative, and that's just something that gave him an alternative rapping. So had it not been for NWA coming out and doing their thing independently, people don't, who knows where the West Coast would be for real.
And he would later connect with several other people from the Lynch Mob, members of Ice Cube's group, which he would later meet Ice Cube, with them being in the same studio and recording a few songs. Mac would later go on tour with Ice Cube and the Lynch Mob, furthering their relationship, and Ice Cube would start collabing with Mac and putting him on some of the Lynch Mob songs. Mac will even be a part of Ice Cube's 1995 Friday movie soundtrack. Ice Cube would even help get Mac a record deal with Priority Records. But the Friday movie soundtrack will cause beef with the group Cypress Hill over what they believe Ice Cube stole their song, which caused diss records between Ice Cube and Cypress Hill. And Mac will fully involve himself in the beef, being a part of Ice Cube's diss record.
It's, we're friends and this is hip hop and everything. And I thought, yeah, it could happen. It's hip hop, I said, what, let me talk to them. I'll straighten it out.
Everything was supposed to be settled. And Ice Cube asked Be Real to record some vocals for Caution, a group signed to Cube's Lynch Mob Records. But in the studio, there was another problem.
And I heard a couple lines that were the same things I used on the Temple of Boom record. And I thought to myself, wait a minute, that's my line. How the hell is it on this record? I'm like, damn, again? In my opinion, I felt like he saw my reaction, and I walked out of the room for a second to make a phone call. When I came back, the line was gone. And I was thinking, oh, wait a minute, that line ain't.
Man, look, does they not get into what I want to hear? The song that he felt like he stole from them. One of the songs, the main song was, "Oh yeah, throw your neighborhood in the air, don't, if you don't care," because they had a song similar to that they dropped on their album, and that's how Cypress Hill was trying to get Muggs to, you feel me, and all of them to get on that with Ice Cube. But at first, Be Real wasn't trying to get on that, like he just said. He was trying to actually squash the shit, and he felt like it was probably just a misunderstanding. But now he getting into that part because they kind of skipping over that part. But now he getting into that part where he's saying basically he seen niggas was really biting their style on the low. But Cube is known for kind of biting niggas. Niggas don't want to say that, but Tupac was the first person to do this. Tupac was the first person to say yeah, yeah. Tupac was the first person to do a lot of shit, and then other niggas came and did other shit also.
There no more. Okay, I know I'm not tripping. So I come back and I have a talk with these guys again, Muggs and Sen. I said, hey, I think he really did take our shit.
I don't run from no challenge from nobody. You know, even though we was dogs, you know, I feel like they should be dealt with.
But this beef will later be squashed after a few major events, like Ice Cube getting his chain snatched by Solo, and the chain being taken to Be Real from Cypress Hill, for he can embarrass Ice Cube on stage.
I mean, we done had our share of problems, you know, but, you know, we working together to work that out, you know, and, you know, maybe if the public see us work out our problems, they'll work out their problems, you know. It's a lot of problems here, you know, in Southern California, you know, with blacks and Latinos and this, that, and the other, and, you know, and hopefully this right here just be that stepping stone to get everything squashed.
Actually, you guys work it all out.
Yeah, we worked it out eventually, and that was, you know, thanks to Mac 10. You know, Mac 10 calls me, you know, because, you know, he's a Damu and so am I, and you know, I thought he realized, you know, this is all going nowhere in a hurry, and you know, chances are some of our people are going to get tangled up and shit's going to happen and really, you know, turn serious.
You know, it could have got serious, you know what I'm saying? But I forgot what happened in between, but B is all right, man. You know what I'm saying? B is the homie.
So you helped squash that whole thing.
Yeah. Yeah, but it had to get to that first, though. You know, it got to that, and then it was...
Mac would later drop his self-titled album, Mac 10, in 1995, having hits on the album like Faux Life, On Them Things, and also Westside Slaughterhouse, that would feature his future group mates from the Westside Connection, Ice Cube, and Dub C. Mac's first album would go gold, but his album would have some controversy, where Ice Cube dissing rapper Common on the Westside Slaughterhouse song, after Ice Cube felt Common disrespected the West Coast on the song I Used to Love Her. Common would later respond to Ice Cube in his own song, called The Bitch in You, and Mac was full on again in the beef for Ice Cube.
You know, she's supposed to be hip-hop, and he's so in love with her, but when she go out here, she get fucked up.
What you mean, nigga? Why it was cool everywhere else it went, but when it came over here, it's fucked up now?
Love NWA, Ice Cube, King T, Compton's Most Wanted, Too Short.
And we felt it was a diss, so at least I did. I mean, everybody did, but, you know, I was the first one with the pen, so that's how that started.
So, it was fuck Common.
This beef almost got violent when Common came to LA, but this beef would later be squashed by Minister Farrakhan. By 1996, Westside Connection would officially come together after several collab songs, bringing two rising rappers together, being Mac 10 and Dub C, and already a megastar, Ice Cube. Westside Connection's album would be called Bow Down, producing two hits, Bow Down and Gangsters Make the World Go Round. The album would go platinum. That same year, Mac would make his own record label, being Who Bangin' Records, who he would later put out several artists on the record label, from people like All From The Eye, CJ Mack, The Comrades, Glasses Malone, and also other artists like MC8 in his own group, Westside Connection. 1997 will be another successful year for Mac. He dropped the album based on a true story, which will go gold. He had hits on the album like Backyard Boogie. That same year, Mac will have a few acting roles, his first movie role being a masterpiece movie, Bout It Bout It, and also another movie called Rhyme and Reason, and the last of 1997, a role in the Jamie Foxx show. In 1998, Mac will drop the solo album, The Recipe, which will go gold. He had many major rappers on the album, like Master P, Snoop Dogg, the deceased Eazy-E, Old Dirty Bastard, Jermaine Dupri, and a long list of others. In 1999, Mac will star in his first role, being a hood classic called Thicker Than Water, which will star another rapper named Fat Joe. 1999 will also be the same year that Mac would meet T-Boz from the group TLC. They would start a relationship, and by 2000, they would get married.
I want to know, how did you come at T-Boz? Like, did you just walk over to him and be like, baby, you look fine?
I was a dog about it, you know what I mean? I just did it, just hollered. You know.
How'd you do?
Yeah, come here. You know what I mean? She came, and when she came, she was cracked.
T-Boz, you showed up.
2000 and 2001 will be active years for Mac. He would release 2 albums, The Paper Route in 2000 and Banger Ball in 2001, which the album Banger Ball will be released through Cash Money Records after Mac signed a big deal for a one-deal album with the company. Many people will say Lil Wayne and Birdman got their blood influence being around Mac 10. In 2001, Mac will also appear in a show called Dark Angel. In 2002, Random Acts of Violence. In 2003, a movie called Cutthroat Alley. In 2002 and 2003, Mac would drop a collab album called The Hood, and also a solo album called Ghetto, Gutter, and Gangsta. His last album with Westside Connection, being Terrorist Threats, also dropped the same year. After this album, Mac 10 and Ice Cube will have a major fallout over what was said, Ice Cube's brother-in-law getting into it with Mac 10 and his crew. This situation led to this day of them not speaking in over 15 years, ending the Westside Connection group.
Seems to focus around Ice Cube's brother-in-law. And at one point, a rift started with Westside Connection.
Yeah.
You and Ice Cube.
Yeah.
So there's a bunch of hazy stories around this, but it seems to focus around Ice Cube's brother-in-law. Can you talk about that?
I mean, what you want to know?
Well, what happened?
It was just, I mean, you know, it was just an unfortunate situation, you know, as far as, you know, what came out of all that, you know what I'm saying? But the stories you heard, probably, most of them probably was, what did you hear?
The story I heard was that Ice Cube's brother-in-law got beat up.
What else did you hear? Did you hear that that before all this happened, that like it ain't like that just happened?
Well, never just happened.
Yeah.
But there was friction.
Yeah, it was conflict. Yeah, you know. But I went to Cube about 4 or 5 times before the conflict jumped off.
Okay.
And told him to correct the situation. So that's the part that everybody leave out, I think.
Right.
I didn't. Nobody didn't intend on starting nothing or nothing even.
In real time, to me, Ice Cube and Dr. Dre is the 2 niggas in NWA that I feel like was most non-confrontational. Because like when Ice Cube got his chain took and shit, he didn't really do nothing to get that bitch back. When Dr. Dre had his situation with Death Row, he just left. He gave the company up. He didn't fight for it. He didn't even fight for the artists that he had signed and brought there and made them think he was gonna be working with them for life and shit. And even with this situation, like he said this on multiple occasions that he tried to talk to Ice Cube. Ice Cube didn't do shit. I don't think Ice Cube really be trying to get involved in shit like that. I think Ice Cube just be trying to make some money. And I can't fault him for that. But this is what happened when you try to keep that gangster image up and you surround yourself with real gangsters, and now you starting to have to deal with real gangster bullshit and gangster attitudes, and niggas' mentalities and egos get built up and like torn down and all that other shit.
Even like escalating to that level, you know what I'm saying? Because if you go to somebody 5 times before it escalate, then you was trying to be diplomatic about the situation.
Right. I mean, the problem is that you're talking about Ice Cube's wife's brother.
I understand.
So now Ice Cube gets put in a weird situation where.
Well, it depends on how weird you want to be. Because if it was my wife's brother, I would have told him he can't fuck my money up.
Right.
And he can't be out of line with nobody I'm getting down with. And if you got that big of a problem with him, stay at home. You know what I'm saying?
Like it's a problem with Mac?
Yeah, it's a problem. You know what I mean? It's I like, you know, it's a thing where
this is a motherfucker.
You know, it's just a violation that can't be overlooked.
Okay.
Ever a chance we could get a West Side Connection reunion with you, Dub, and Mac 10?
Probably not.
Damn.
Probably not.
Wow.
I don't want to do another West Side Connection.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I saw Mac 10 on Vlad TV, and I always wonder what happened with that relationship.
When you get
He
him
tells
on,
his side, but-
of course he do. Of course he do. I don't want to talk about it, to be honest, because he know what it is. That's all that need to matter.
By 2004, Mac would be in a lot of controversy after him and T-Boz would get a divorce after T-Boz stated that Mac was abusive and also a cheater, giving Mac bad media coverage, which he would say wasn't true at all.
I heard that shit too, and if that shit is true, T-Boz is like this big compared to Mac 10. Mac 10 need his ass beat. And I be saying this about a lot of these niggas. They be real abusive to these women. I don't see how you could love a woman and put your hands on her. That's just me personally. You know what I'm saying? If I got to put my hands on you, I got to get the fuck away from you at that point. And T-Boz probably is a handful, but I wouldn't be putting no ring on your finger if I feel like you're a fucking handful as a man. That's just the first thing you need to acknowledge about who you. Matter of fact, anybody, male or female, acknowledge these things about people that you're dating and you trying to be with. Acknowledge them and understand whether or not you want to live with this shit for the rest of your life, or deal with this attitude for the rest of your life, or deal with these, emotions and roller coasters and shit that people put you through for the rest of your life. Because if you can't take a person when they mad, happy, sad, this, that, and the third, you don't need to be burying them, period.
They would have a daughter and later work out their relationship as co-parents.
Right, because at one point there was a bunch of drama. I guess you got a restraining order against you, and
Yeah, but none of that shit was real though.
it wasn't.
Nothing. Never ever had a incident where it was no violence or no nothing. Like, only thing we ever had is an argument.
Okay.
We ain't never had none of that kind of shit. But the lawyer she had at the time thought that probably it'd make the case better or something. Maybe he was chasing some attention or something.
In 2005, Mac would drop the album Hustler's Handbook, and in the same year, he acted in movies Halloween House Party, Apocalypse of the Beauty Queen, and in 2006, he starred in the movie It Ain't Easy, and also a movie called Drop. In 2009, Mac would drop a solo album called Hard White, and in 2010, he dropped a collab album with Glasses Malone called Money Music. These would be the last albums Mac would drop. Mac would appear in a movie called Buzz House in 2011. Mac, after this point, will focus on real estate and doing live performances, and stayed out of the media up until recently, when he started doing several interviews with channels like Vlad TV and No Jumper. Mac has recently dropped more music and has been coaching Pop Warner football and Little League baseball, and being a father of 5, and will go down as a West Coast legend, selling over 10 million.
I gotta shout him out because he grew a little bit, I guess you could say. One thing about Mac 10 I can say is he told the truth about whatever, you feel me. You could pull up on him type shit. We can't really justify the situation with him and T-Boz, so because we don't really know what happened between them other than them two. But as far as what I know and what I've always seen about Mac 10, he always kept it a buck. He always kept it a buck, and he don't be minding to tell the truth about certain shit. Like with the Ice Cube situation, it's hella rumors where they said that his crew beat up Ice Cube's brother-in-law. And with Ice Cube, I could just tell his wife ain't gonna let that shit slide. I can just tell she running the household by that look on his face when they said, "Can we get another album?" I don't want to do another album. Why you don't want to do another album, nigga? And I'm with him. Shit, I'm not gonna let you fuck up my money, nor am I gonna let you fuck up my company. I got artists got attitudes, artists is divas, all type of shit. You gotta be more cautious in how you run your business. This is why you can't let family get intertwined with your business. You know what I'm saying? Unless like you on some masterpiece shit as to where your family is also a part of your employment. You see what I'm saying? As far as like being a star. And if they can't handle that part of it, separate them from certain things. Because as you could see Murder end up in jail. The only person who real deal did it the best way possible to me was E40. E40 siblings and all of that, they straight. Be Legit is his cousin, they straight. I've never heard no drama from them niggas. They straight. They always been under the radar. They don't nobody bother them. A lot of people, California period, just respect them niggas period. To me, when I see them niggas speak out, and I always look at E40 like a stand up real nigga. But as far as like the drama between certain individuals, you gotta understand, bro. If I'm bringing the situation to you, you need to handle it and be a man and handle the situation, or be a CEO and handle the situation. Especially when you're in that position, you have to be a boss. You can't let motherfuckers boss you around. And I damn sure ain't finna let my wife tell me what the fuck I can and can't do. But I am gonna agree with the fact that shit, I can't just let you beat on my damn brother-in-law. But shit, at the same time, I wouldn't even, like I said, with a lot of situations, certain situations you can avoid by keeping certain people away from each other, or keeping certain people in their own lane. But y'all let me know what the fuck y'all think. I fuck with this though. This made me gain a little bit of respect for Mac 10. But the truth is, I hate that when he got signed to Young Money, that's what made motherfuckers start wearing their little rags and shit. That's the 1000% true. 1000% true, because it was rumors that Wayne was a Crip before all of that shit. He was wearing a blue flag because of motherfuckers. And we just seen in another episode prior to this when the MCA was signed to this nigga, which I still to this day don't understand why would I sign to this nigga. If as MC8 I was already signed to a major label, I would keep looking for a major label, or I would do independent. I wouldn't sign to an artist that's signed to a label. You feel me? At the end of the day, he don't really run his career. Ice Cube run his career. So when Ice Cube put the brakes on him, you don't see Mac 10 no more. That's my whole point that I was really trying to point out too with that shit. But I'm gone. Peace. Understand what work is. These snakes is lurking, observing, trying to close your curtains. These hoes be perping. Oh, she told me, boy, watch your back.